Thank you very much. Your Excellency Boris Johnson, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom and Chairperson of the Summit. Your Excellency Mr. Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations, Your Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, Your Excellency Ms. Patricia Espinosa, Executive Secretary of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I wish to begin by thanking you and congratulating Your Excellency Prime Minister Boris Johnson for convening this important summit at the commencement of the 26th session of the Conference of Parties, COP26, to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC. I am confident that together with the global community of nations, we will deliver the outcome that the world urgently needs for averting a climate crisis. Chairperson, science is clear that we only have a small window of opportunity to ensure that we collectively take decisive action and prevent the negative impact of climate change. For developing and vulnerable countries like Zambia, which is among the least developed countries with multiple challenges, climate change brings an additional layer of challenges, an additional burden, and aggravates existing ones. Very important. Climate change makes it difficult for us to effectively address a number of social-economic challenges in order to lift our people from high poverty levels so as to improve their livelihoods. Chairperson, for the sake of humanity, a positive outcome from this conference is not an option, but an absolute necessity. We are confident that the global community will share our sense of urgency in this matter. If there is any lesson, like has been indicated by other speakers before me, we should learn from the COVID-19 pandemic, it is the need for our collaboration on this shared planet in order to secure our mutual safety and success. We are hopeful and confident that if the desired outcome from this summit, and indeed COP26 is achieved, we should move to agree the following. Number one, clear, deep, and real cuts in greenhouse gas emissions to be addressed by all countries, with the developed countries taking the lead. Number two, adequate, predictable financing to enable the developing countries to make impactful contributions to address this critical global challenge. Number three, support with technologies and the capacities that the world needs to shift from carbon-intensive development paths to low-carbon green economies. Absolutely essential. Number four, placing a premium on adaptation measures and the support required to ensure that we safeguard the lives and livelihoods of the most vulnerable people on the planet and to protect natural ecosystems. Number five, resolving the remaining technical bottlenecks that are delaying us from unleashing the full potential of the Paris Agreement. Chairperson, Zambia is willing and ready to support your leadership and will work closely with the global community in resolving this challenge. In this regard, I'm happy to report that prior to this summit in July 2021, Zambia submitted a revised and updated nationally determined contribution to the Paris Agreement, spelling out the following ambitious efforts. Number one, we have pledged to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions by 25% based on the 2010 levels by 2030, using a combination of our own domestic resources and other support that we have traditionally received before. Number two, we are willing and ready to go further to reduce our emissions by 47% if we are adequately supported by you, our global partners. Number three, we have increased the sector's under mitigation from the initial 3 to 6 in the revised NDC as we steadily move towards economy-wide mitigation approach. Number 4, given that adaptation is a critical component of our NDC, we have also developed indicators to enable us track progress on how we are building resilience in the natural and human systems. Number 5, we will expedite the implementation of activities through our development of bankable project proposals to enable us access the necessary financing. And of course, number 6, last but not the least, in just 2 months of our being elected in office by the Zambian people, we have created a ministry, a dedicated ministry of green economy and environment, which will spearhead the work of addressing climate change and other related challenges in a robust manner. Chairperson, as I conclude, I wish to emphasize the need for us all to foster a sense of urgency as we work to give our political momentum to our negotiators and encourage them to make good use of the next 2 weeks to give the world an outcome it needs from this conference. We have an obligation and noble task to deliver for our citizens the much needed and desired changes to preserve this planet and safeguard our environment for future generations. Chairperson, this is our duty. This is our individual, collective, and indeed inescapable responsibility to our world, to our planet. I thank you all for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency.